office while we are living here. So if you didn't see my other vlog, I've just moved into where Bart's been living temporarily until we find a place of our own. Gold Coast Market at the moment is crazy. Yeah, we've just got a little desk set up, which I've actually made pretty cute. I've got like a little plan. I've got my essential oils over there. I've got, yeah, like my whiteboard with my goals. I'm actually enjoying it. It's been nice to kind of change up my work environment. I just feel like changing spaces really motivates me. So it's been nice to mix things up a little bit. Oh, also Bart has a Mac computer, so I've been able to steal that from him, which has been good. But anyways, so today is going to be a little bit different to my other vlogs where I'm moving around and showing you and taking you along with whatever I'm doing. I just wanted to have like a sit down chat and share some of my personal development tips with you guys, because I get so many questions on Instagram about journaling routine, what I actually journal about, the type of prompts that I use, how I meditate, and what tools I use when I do meditate. I thought I would kind of just sit down here with you guys today and answer some of those questions, just run you through what works for me and what I've picked up over the years. So yeah, this is pretty much for anyone who might be wanting to dive into personal development and not really knowing where to start and just need some extra tips, or I guess just like a baseline of where to start, because there are so many resources out there at the moment. There's so many Instagram pages that you can follow, so many coaches, and there's podcasts and books and meditation and journaling and mentors, and there's a lot out there. So that's why I thought this would be really helpful for you, because it'll really strip it back to the basics of where I started and how I've been able to grow from that. As I said, what's worked for me. Also for people who might be already into personal development, but you're feeling really overwhelmed and that nothing is really sticking and nothing is really working. So hopefully this video can kind of show you, again, stripping it back to the basics of just little things that you can implement and then work from that. That is probably one of my biggest tips, is to start with a few things, and that's what I want to touch on today, like my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 practices and routines that I would recommend that you start with. And as I said, you can just build from there. So I guess when it comes to personal development, biggest thing firstly is to have a goal in mind. Everyone starts their personal development journey for different reasons, whether it's just to get a bit of a morning routine so that you have more energy throughout the day and you're not rolling out of bed and going to work. Or maybe you have a goal that you're working towards that you want to achieve and you really want to master the basics or the practices around manifestation and how to call in abundance and how to call in those circumstances and achievements into your life. I'm going to be honest, when you're starting out on these things, it is going to feel a little bit strange to you, especially meditating. If you've never done it before, I totally get that it sometimes can feel quite awkward, but that's why it's really important to have an end goal in mind and to really imagine the type of person that you want to become, just then knowing that this personal development is going to be getting you that one step closer to becoming that version of you. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to run you through what works for me, and as I said, the top 6 basics that are really going to get you in a really good routine, really good practices. I like to do my personal development in the morning, and I incorporate that into my morning routine. I get up out of bed, the first thing I do is go and brush my teeth, wash my face, brush my hair. Just makes me feel a little bit more alive and awake. And then I go out and make a cup of tea, loving either chai tea with a little bit of almond milk or peppermint tea. Make my tea and then I take it back to bed. I then open up the app Insight Timer. Meditating, I love guided meditation. You'll usually find that they've got some background music and then someone actually guiding you through a meditation. What I love about the app Insight Timer, I'm just going to get it up on my phone now so I can show you guys. It's a free app you can download through the App Store. So if you open the app Insight Timer, what's really cool about it from the homepage you'll be able to see is that you can filter it by a timer. If you're new to meditating, start with maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and that is still going to be so powerful. So don't underestimate what just 5 or 10 minutes can do in the morning. I would recommend starting with something. So if you hit guided, you'll then see that you've got filter by time. Let's say we're going to go 10 minutes. Next screen you'll see is a bunch of meditations that are within that time limit. The next really cool function I love about Insight Timer is if you go filters, you'll see type, audio, advanced, and there's a whole bunch of filters that you can apply to your what's coming up on your screen. I usually go meditation. I personally like listening to a female voice. Nothing against guys, I just resonate with a female voice. It's really soothing. You can select whether you want with background music or without. I like background music. I kind of get lost a little bit more in what they're saying. I find it blocks out the background noises a little bit more. The next setting you'll see is advanced. By benefit, by practice, by origin. So if you hit by benefit, you'll see some popular topics that you can filter by. So there's a whole bunch there, from pain, stress, motivation, relax, confidence, happiness, gratitude. You can kind of just select what you like. I personally always go with the motivation one. And under that, if you go filter by practice, you can choose again even further. There's a whole bunch in there, like visualization, sound, movement. Again, play around with it and figure out what you like. I personally like to hit on the manifestation because I really like visualization guided meditations that take me to a time in the future where I'm imagining being in this space where I've achieved whatever I'm working towards, or I have become that woman that I want to be and I'm living as her in that present moment. So that's what those guided meditations will do. And then you'll see a whole bunch, and you can just sit there and you can select a meditation. What is really cool also about this app is you can actually save meditations to your favorites folder. So if you do like something, you can go back to it another day and continue to listen to it. So yeah, once I've done my meditation, I then move on to my journaling. With journaling, I love Kiki K for my journals. They have like a whole bunch in there. I just get the plain paper one with just the lines, but you can get a journal. It's called the 5-minute journal. Again, this could be really good if you're starting out with journaling because it actually has the journal prompts in there. I will also link below my journal prompt worksheet, which has a whole bunch of journal prompts, which is what I personally use, and that's kind of what I'll run you through today. Or I'll just take you back to our insight timer. When I'm journaling, I also like to listen to music. I like to listen to instrumental music, just something really chilled and acoustic. Insight timer have a bunch of music as well. And yeah, you'll be able to find something that is soothing and relaxing for you. Otherwise, sometimes I'll listen to like Ziggy Albert's, but the instrumental version, so without lyrics. It's just, again, it's nice relaxing music. So I'll have that going while I'm journaling. And then when it comes to my journaling, I usually split my page up into, I split my page up into 3 now. This is the 3rd section, is something that I've just started implementing. Picked it up from someone, it was a YouTube channel I was listening to the other day. I now split it up into 3. So the first thing that I journal about is gratitude. So I'll say today I am grateful for, and then I list 5 things that I'm grateful for. The reason for gratitude is it comes from the whole notion that when we're feeling good, we're going to attract more good into our life. When we're focusing on the bad things and the shitty circumstances, we're going to continue to attract more of that in our life. So when it comes to gratitude, I was just making sure I was still recording. So by starting my day of listing 5 things that I'm grateful for, it's being grateful for things that I've got in my present life and what are in my current circumstances, and I'm more likely to attract more good things that are in line with that. Being grateful for what you've got in life is also going to raise your vibration. The whole notion about manifestation and visualization works really off raising your vibration and being at a frequency at which your dream life is vibrating at. And if you want to touch more on this, there's a whole bunch of books that I'm going to recommend that you can dive more into how the whole frequency and the vibrational phenomena and practices work. Next thing I move into is actually looking at a journal prompt. So again, I use my journal prompt worksheet, and there's 30 journal prompts in there that you can download for free. They are all around really just stepping into that version that you want to be and really creating your dream life. Again, it's really embodying the practice of visualization. So our subconscious doesn't actually know the difference between what's real and imaginary, but what we attract in our life is based on our belief system and what we believe to be true. So by constantly feeding your subconscious mind with this amazing life that you want to build, the person you want to be, the morning routine that you want to have, the people you want to surround yourself with, eventually your subconscious is going to believe that that is real life for you. It's going to start opening up opportunities, attracting people and circumstances into your life that are going to match that vision that you're telling yourself and match that vibrational frequency that you're radiating at. In terms of the journal prompts, it will just depend on what I'm feeling about it the day. I love scripting about a day in the life of what my life would look like if I was living right now the dream life that I imagine for myself. When it comes to scripting that out, it's really powerful to either script in present or past tense, so acting as if you're in that moment or the moment has passed and you're talking about a memory that's happened. This is that 3rd section that I've said I've just started doing, and sending love to someone. So sending love to, and then writing someone you want to send love to that day, and just sending them a text or giving them a call and just saying that you're thinking of them and say something really nice about them. I thought that was a really nice thing to incorporate, and obviously it's really getting into that practice of vibrating in a high frequency and being that positive person. And the more you give, the more you give, the more the more you give, the more likely you are to attract. Also, which I didn't mention, when I'm journaling and meditating, I love to either have a candle going, obsessed with coconut and lime smells at the moment, or I'll put my diffuser on with an essential oil. Sometimes another thing I'll do is putting a little bit of a lavender essential oil like under my nose, so that when I'm doing my breath during my meditation or just breathing normally, it's I can smell that lavender, and it's just a really soothing thing for me to do. And then in terms of when to meditate and journal, I personally, and I would really recommend, is in trying to incorporate this in your morning. I get life can be so busy, but if you can find just 10 to 20 minutes in the morning somewhere before you go about the rest of your day, you find that you just set yourself up for such a better day. Like putting yourself first before anyone else. You're reminding yourself of what you're working towards, no matter what your current circumstances might look like. And again, you're getting yourself in that frequency of being at a high vibration, getting in that feel good. You're going to attract more of that into your life. So yeah, like I said, that they are my two things that I do first thing in the morning, and then I get up, make some breakfast, have a shower, or usually get up, have breakfast, or go to the gym, come home, have breakfast, have a shower. When I'm in the shower or when I'm getting ready, I love to listen to music. It's like a high vibe playlist, something that's going to really pump me up. And it really just helps me get in that positive mood, raise my energy, and just really get me ready for the day. My third step, or my third recommendation when it comes to personal development, pick a type of brain food that you can incorporate in your day. So by brain food, I mean either a book or a podcast, like a YouTuber, something that you can put on throughout the day or read that is going to feed your brain and your mind with positive things, tips on manifestation. It's going to constantly remind you to raise your vibration and to just be in that state. Like the way you talk to yourself, what you think, what you feel are all impacting your current circumstances. So by constantly feeding yourself with things that are in line with what you're working towards, constantly reminding yourself of being positive and just being happy, it's going to help you step into that state. In terms of whether you want to read a book or podcast, I think that's a personal preference. Some people love podcasts because you can obviously listen to it on the run. So whether you go for a walk in the morning and just want to have it playing then, or a big thing for me is having a podcast going either when I'm getting ready in the morning or when I'm in the car. So yeah, finding a podcast that you love or a book that you want to read, and finding a time in your day that you can either read or listen to that podcast. Some of my personal favorite podcasts, Kimberley Wenya, who is a manifestation mentor, the Perfectionism Project, who really talks about that perfectionism mindset and trying to move away from having to have everything so structured, which is a big thing for me. If it wasn't done a certain way, in a certain order, I would just not do it at all. It's really about that whole mentality of starting things on a Monday or starting things in the new year. She really talks about getting away from that mindset and just doing things messy. So she's a really good one I like. Love Manifestation Babe. Again, she's obviously a manifestation coach. She's constantly traveling the world. She drives around in this beautiful Mercedes. She lives in this penthouse apartment. Like, when I listen to her, I'm like, you are goals. Yeah, they're probably my top 3, but there's a whole bunch out there. I listen to my podcast through Apple, but obviously there's Audible, there's Spotify. Link all this below as well in case this sounds like something you'd like to listen to and you can find it easily enough. In terms of books, some of my top favorite books are The Secret's a really good starter for manifestation and understanding the law of attraction. I actually wrote them down. I'm reading one at the moment called Good Vibes, Good Life, and so far this has been really good as well. My other one is The Resilience Project. So if you're someone who prefers more of a story as opposed to, what would you call these books? I guess they're still stories, but it's kind of like talking to you and giving you mindset tips and hacks, whereas the Resilience Project is about a guy, the author goes to India and just like uncovers their principles and the way they live their life, and then incorporates that in his everyday life while incorporating tips and mindset hacks in there as well. So that's a really good one. My other one would be, I read it recently. It's a yellow book. You Are a Badass. So that's another cool one as well. So I purchase all my books from Booktopia. They come really quick. They're probably my top 4 books. Okay, so I've covered journaling, meditating, brain food. We're up to 4. My 4th tip is to find a mentor that you really resonate with and that really aligns with your personal development journey, the type of vibe that you go for, the type of vibe that you resonate with, that you can listen to and enjoy listening to. That mentor might be someone that you find through your podcast. It could be an author. Once you find your mentor, I would encourage you to follow them on Instagram. If they've got a YouTube channel, follow them on YouTube. If they've got courses, sign up to their courses, like really engross yourself in them and their life and what they teach. And I would recommend starting off with just the one mentor. And if you're taking on too much, it's just going to become overwhelming and you're probably unlikely to stick to it. Whereas if you find a mentor that you love, you're then going to be able to build on that. I love Kimberley Wenya. I've actually just signed up for one of her courses. Yeah, that's going to be incredible. So I've loved her, and I literally binge her podcasts. I binge her stories, as well as the Manifestation Babe. I did a workshop with her not long ago. Again, I binge her Instagram stories, especially because she's traveling at the moment. So yeah, finding a mentor that you like, they're my top two, but honestly find someone that you really resonate with. And when it comes to choosing your mentor, especially when you are new to personal development, is maybe finding someone that is a little bit closer to where you are. So Tony Robbins is an amazing mentor and I absolutely love him, but some reason I find it a little bit difficult to resonate with him as much as what I do with someone like Kimberley Wenya and now the Manifestation Babe. I don't know why, maybe it's because they're younger, they're females. You can kind of really get an understanding of where they started and where they've got to now. And I find it a lot easier to really put myself in their shoes and think, okay, I'm where they are. I'm at a place where they were when they started and look where they are now. So it's really able to go, okay, well, if I follow what they say and I really engross myself in what they do on a daily basis and what their routines are and what their practices are, I can get to where they are. Yeah, finding someone that like feels relatable or, you know, feels like you could be in their life, I guess. Another thing, and I was about to say this is not a feature on Instagram, but I guess it is, because once you start watching someone's stuff all the time, the algorithm picks that up and will put their stuff at the top of your stories. Because the next thing I was going to say is being really mindful of who you're watching on Instagram and YouTube, and being really mindful of the outside noise that you're letting into your world. And that's where Instagram stories come into it. When you start constantly watching these mentors, their content is going to show first on your page and on your feed. Their content is going to show first on your Instagram stories. So when you open your phone first thing in the morning, or, you know, when you're scrolling on Instagram, be mindful that they're the people you're watching and they're the first people you look at when you're opening your phone, because it's just going to instantly set you on a good vibration and it's going to instantly just make you feel good. Whereas if you're watching something that, I don't know, for example, COVID, you're constantly opening your phone and you're just seeing constant stuff about COVID and lockdowns. We can't travel. It's going to put you in and lower how you're feeling. You lower your vibration. You're not going to feel empowered and amazing. Whereas if you open up your mentor's Instagram or your mentor's YouTube, you're instantly going to get back to that place. Okay, so that's 4. The 5th thing is affirmations. It works for some people and it can feel weird for others. They are super powerful, but for me, I have to find an affirmation that does do that for me. So incorporating affirmations, but personalizing them to you is what I'm trying to say. Personalizing your affirmations to what you're working towards, the type of person you're wanting to become, the life you're wanting to create, a goal you might be working towards, and creating affirmations around that. So when it comes to affirmations, I guess it's important to obviously remind yourself of these affirmations, and you can do that in a whole bunch of ways. Stand in front of the mirror and repeat the affirmations to yourself. That's great. It works for some people. It doesn't really do much for me. Just doesn't do much for me. Something that has really worked for me though is setting reminders on my phone of my affirmations. I mean, there could be other ways you do this, but I set alarms throughout the day. So if you just open up your alarm function and create a new alarm, you can rename the alarm. So I just like rename the label to whatever my affirmation is and then set it throughout different times throughout the day. It pops up on my phone. It's a nice reminder of, you know, what I'm working towards. And again, it's going back to the whole, your subconscious doesn't know what the difference is between what's real and imaginary. So having an affirmation saying, I am earning $5,000 a week, for example, it's going to feed that information to your subconscious, and eventually your subconscious is going to think that's real, and it's going to start showing you circumstances and attract opportunities into your life that are going to be on that same level as someone who's earning $5,000 a week. So that's how I do affirmation. My camera just turned off for some reason. That's so annoying. I don't know where I finished. I think I was up to the brain dump part. splitting your page in two, and anything that is causing you an anxious feeling or stress, or you just can't seem to release it, is putting it on one side of the paper, and then on the other side of the paper rewriting that stress or that worry. So for example, you might have something coming up that day that is causing you a really anxious feeling and stress. Rewriting how that could go where it's actually not an anxious event, or it doesn't cause that stress. So for example, you might have a meeting, you haven't prepared for it properly, you've got this really anxious feeling that it's just gonna not go very well. Rewriting that to say, it only goes for 10 minutes this meeting, it's gonna be over before I know it, there's really nothing to be worried about. Like just flipping those anxious feelings and that stress to a good experience, telling yourself that actually it's going to be okay. Essentially that brain dump is just to like get everything off my mind, get my to-do list on, especially if I have a busy day and I'm like, just don't know where to start, putting a to-do list, putting it in some kind of order, like, okay, if I do this, then I do that. That's like, 2 things done, obviously. But you know what I'm saying. They are my like top 6 tips when it comes to personal development. The biggest, like to kind of wrap this up, is whatever you decide to do, make it feel good. Like, don't get me wrong, when you first start out, it probably will feel a bit uncomfortable, especially if you're new to meditating and journaling. Like, know that will get better. That is just a little hump in the journey. But if it really just doesn't feel good for you and it feels too uncomfortable, mix it up. Like, find something that will work, because the power of manifestation and visualization is so incredible. So if you can somehow incorporate that in other practices that work for you, go for it. Like, these are just the 6 things that I would personally recommend. If there's something else out there that you feel works for you, like, do that. Another thing too is like being consistent with it. So as I said, like, it will kind of feel weird at first, but you will eventually get over that little hump. But be consistent with it, and eventually all of this is going to become a part of your day. And honestly, you're going to feel so much more empowered, especially, as I said, just starting your morning about you and just implementing even just one, like even just journaling or even just meditating, even for 5 minutes, by reminding yourself of what you want to be working towards and what you want your life to look like and the type of person you want to be. You're instantly going to raise your vibration, improve your day tenfold, like, I promise you. I hope you have enjoyed that, and I hope it's been helpful. Like I said, I was just trying to imagine what it would be like when I did first start out, and one thing I did remember was there was just a lot of information out there. So I hope this has kind of helped you in terms of some of the basic things that you can start to implement. And as I said, for the people who might be well and truly in their personal development, but you just are feeling too overwhelmed, or you're feeling like nothing works, maybe try some of these things and really just strip it back. And as I said, find that one mentor, stick to one kind of brain food per day, stripping it back to the basics and then building on it again from there. I forgot to mention as well, if you are looking for a guided meditation, Insight Time is amazing, but I've actually also created my own guided meditation. I'll link it below for you. It takes you on a little journey of yourself in the future when you are living your dream life and everything has gone to plan. You might like that one as well, so I'll put that below. I hope it has been helpful and I hope you have fun with it. Congratulations as well for being here and listening to this. It is something that a lot of people don't do, but as I said, it is so powerful having some kind of personal development practice or practices incorporated in your life, and it's going to be so worth it. So stick with it, have fun with it. I'm going to wrap it up there. Have the most amazing day, and I'll see you